You're watching Over the Stove, and I'm your host, Nikki Chancho. I'm going to be chatting with good people doing good things, and we're going to be cooking their favourite dish at the same time. Today I have Pete Ceglinski from Seabin. Welcome, Pete.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So first I just want to know what we've got going on here before we get into everything. There's a lot on the table.
Yeah.
Like, what are we cooking today? What are you cooking today?
It's my little boy's favourite food, actually.
Yeah.
They love, well, actually it's a variation. They love this Korean popcorn chicken sort of setup with rice, and so we swapped out the chicken for cauliflower. And yeah, so a bit of rice and the cauliflower, and then just a really quick stir fry. And like, I'm not a chef, and apologies if we burn something, but
that's fine. As long as the house is intact when you leave, then I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
I don't like doing the dishes though.
I love doing the dishes, so it's fine. We've got this.
Put the rice on.
Yeah.
So we'll do a cup of rice, and we'll do a cup, and I think it's a cup and a third of water, and we'll just boil it. Hits the boil, then we'll just back it off and simmer it, and then turn it off and let it do its thing. We'll chuck a bit of salt in there as well. Where's the salt? I saw that before.
Yeah.
There it is. Righto.
A cup of rice. So tell me, what gets you up in the morning?
My two little boys.
Yeah.
Coming up and jumping in my bed and waking me up at all sorts of hours, but it's always fun. What else gets me up out of bed? The sun.
Yeah, I mean, look, they say that like seeing the sun first thing. I thought you were like cheersing me for a second. I was like, I don't have a drink in my hand, but sure.
Where is the wine?
Yeah, I know, I should have done that, but I didn't actually. I'm doing like 3 weeks no alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been good.
But this is in the future.
She says as her eyes twitches, it's like, give me a drink. No.
You could have got out of this. You could have used this as a get out of jail one, because this will be in the future, so it's not really now.
You're right. I know. Damn it, future Nikki, anyway, didn't think about this.
Anyway, good placement for a natural organic wine. If you're out there, anybody wants to jump in.
Hello.
I reckon that.
Sure.
Now, there's probably people hating on this already, but it took me a long time to realise how to cook rice. It's a simple thing in the world. So.
We've cooked so much rice today already. No, I don't think it is the most simple thing in the world. I think rice is really hard, and you can easily just turn to shit.
Yeah, big gluggy mess or a big black pot sticker.
Yeah, and then it's like straight into the bin. Okay, so you want to put it on with the lid off?
Just put the lid on, crank it, right, so that's just stir fry, so move that across. We'll do the batter, like a tempura sort of thing.
Sure.
So we need a bowl for that.
Yep.
I don't measure anything, hey, I just sort of throw stuff in, and I don't know if we're allowed to swear or not.
You can swear as much as you want.
So I just be like, and do a bit of this.
That's going to be bleep it out.
Righto. So, that's plain flavour, I think?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Righto. So we'll just
chuck it in.
Oops. Try to make a mess. Sorry. So we got cumin. So we just throw a bit of that in.
Sure.
We got
I'm like the complete opposite. I measure everything.
Really?
And I'm like really by the book.
Is this just crushing you right now?
A little bit, but that's okay, because it's good to like go outside your comfort zone, right?
Well, the good thing is it's like you're always in for a surprise, because it always tastes a little bit different, right?
But then what if you get like a batch that is so good, and then you're like, I can't recreate that because I do not remember what I did last time.
I haven't hit that level of eliteness yet, so.
Okay, so is this the way that you like work as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've got bigger bowls, but it's about the same. I don't normally have a camera in the kitchen following me around or asking me questions, but yeah. So we're just chucking some water in here. Okay. And we'll get some sort of batter. I shouldn't call it batter, it's like tempura, or I don't know, that sounds cooler, but yeah, so.
Well, it's kind of like a batter.
Cool batter.
I know, I like the whole panko curry thing. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, it's all about the crunch, right? So you got karaage chicken or karaage stuff in the Japanese restaurants, which is like, well, what is that? It's just like flour or something that they put on it.
Yeah.
And so I love that, but I just wanted a bit more crunch, and so I realised that if I could make this kind of tempura batter mixture, coat that, and then chuck it in the crumbs, you got like double crunch. So
yeah.
More crunch the better.
I love cauliflower, and I just never really know how to cook it. So
how do we show the camera without it falling?
Okay, so tell me, is your cooking style exactly the same way that you run your business?
Yes.
Yes?
Podge, throw it all together, hope for the best.
Yep.
No. Well, yes. I've never had a business before, so I've read a lot of books and seen what other people do, and just actually no, it's exactly the same, because I just do business using gut feel, and intuition, and having a no dickhead policy. And there's no dickheads in the kitchen, but using gut feel and intuition. So like if you go to a restaurant, eat something tasty, and you're like, work out the ingredients, the sauce, to go home, just make your own combination. And that's what I did with Patagonia actually. Read their books, saw what they did, wanted to be like them, wanted to recreate what they do, but with my own flair. So I guess it's actually the same.
Yeah.
No experience cooking, no experience with business. Just making it work and adding my own flavours.
And your own knowledge from past experiences and
life experiences and what you want, what you don't want and stuff.
Yeah.
How you want to be as a person.
Yeah. And I think also, and I've said this to a few other people before, like when you're a small team, or just a one-man band, it's easier to be nimble and just like go with your gut. There's not as many people to kind of be like that. You shouldn't really be doing that.
Like how many levels of governance do you want to go through to change a font or a colour or something?
And that's all kind of just like really pointless.
Agile.
Especially when you're like working for the environment, right?
Yeah. Well, actually you can turn that rice down now. I think it's bubbling away. Hey, what we might do is get that little pan out and put some veggie oil.
Yeah, let's do it.
Heating up.
Where did I put that little pan?
I don't know actually.
Did I put it back? Oh.
The olds. There we are. So I think we need to put this on medium heat. So we're going to put some vegetable oil in here. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to use as our deep fryer.
Yeah.
And I started doing this because I didn't want to like fill up 4 inches of a pot with oil that you only use once, and then you got to like sift through it, or you chuck it out or something. So I don't know. Plus, I only had like a little bit of oil at the time, so.
And then it's not too oily, right?
Yeah, that one as well.
It's not like drenched in it.
Well, sort of is, but sort of not. I don't know actually.
But I guess, do you just like toss it through, or does it fully sit there and like?
Well, you only deep fry half of it, and then you deep fry the other side because you flip it over.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think in the house, like I only had like half a thing of oil, so that's all I had. So I just did it, and it worked. And it turned out to be more efficient anyway.
Well, there you go. Being agile, making processes better. That's just
what was in the cupboard.
That's just exactly like being in a small business, right?
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever heard of chaotic?
No.
Chaos and order?
No.
I think Visa termed that phrase, and they have such a big business, and they realised that there's just total chaos, but there is actually order. And so it was chaotic, where I don't know, that it just works. And so on a very minuscule scale of what Seabin is, it's kind of chaotic because we've only just sort of found our groove, and we're pioneering. Like we're on the front lines of this, setting examples, standards, like creating new tech, and no one's done this before, so we don't have anyone to follow, or no one's written the book on it. We're writing the book on plastic pollution in the water and the data, and then how we sell it, and so it's kind of chaotic. I guess. Do
you find it hard to find people that can like fit into your chaotic business model?
Yes and no. We've had a few hand grenades. Over the years.
I mean, that comes with it, right?
Turned out it was cultural fit. And so once I realised that it was cultural fit, not so much, the people could still do their jobs, but it was just really weird and awkward, and you know, where's all the resource, how come we haven't got all this stuff around us? And they're like, well, we're not Atlassian, we don't have $50 billion, you know, you have to multitask, you have to put a few different hats on. And but what we realised, it was cultural, and so the last job that we advertised for on LinkedIn and socials was for Enviro technician, and I think I'd written something like, we don't care if you're pulling beers, washing dishes, or you know, like whatever, but what we do care about is if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to give things a go, if you're passionate about the environment, do you like hiking, do you like swimming? You could be stamp collecting, it doesn't matter, but you need a passion. But then you've got to be a team player, because if you're not a team player, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's
even though you can do your job, you're going to be the weirdo that, like, you know, the bad apple in the bunch sort of thing. And yeah, so we just advertise like that, but we also use the network that we built, the community that we built, and we utilise the Patagonia community. So if we're going to launch in LA, we reach out to the Patagonia store, say, hey, does anyone that works there have any friends that would like to work for us? We've got science positions, Enviro, you know, this type of thing. And they've already filtered out all the dickheads, and so we just rely on that, and it builds a community, but you also, you know, find the talent. Having a company with a bit of purpose, well, a lot of purpose actually built in, also attracts and retains talent as well. Like, we can't pay people as much as we want to, but there's a lot of like purpose built in, and you feel really good, and so
it's definitely it makes for an interesting team, right? Everyone is so passionate and really willing to kind of, you know, in a lot of cases take the pay cut to do something that has purpose in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we wish we had more money to pay competitively, but like, as we're still scaling up, funds are tight, but you know, we do the best we can, but having that purpose there is amazing, because there's a lot of people that are leaving high-paying careers because there's no purpose built in. They're burnt out, or they hate the company, or they hate the CEO. There's, you know, misogyny and politics, and there's a toxic culture, and they're like willing to like leave that for something else to tick a few more boxes that, you know, just makes you feel good as a person. So, and
I feel like since COVID, that's kind of really, that's increased a lot. People are trying to find more purpose in what they do every day, because they realize you work more than you're like at home.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You're at the office, or more than you are, same like when you grow up, you're at school more so than you are at home.
Yeah, we also found that COVID, you know, if you're in lockdown, like essentially the environment's been taken away from you. You know, you can go do a bit of exercise, but you can't go for a surf, or you can't go, you know, drive too far. And so when COVID, you know, backed off, there was more empathy and love in the world, I think, because of you're restricted from seeing friends or family. You want to go and see your friends, you want to travel more, you want to, you know, go enjoy the environment that was taken away from you more as well. So yeah, I don't know, there's like pros and cons of COVID there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of, I still got mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, it sucks. Anyway, let's put some oil in this.
Yeah, how much do you want?
Pan.
Or are you just gonna you just tell me to say when?
Just fill it up to these little doodads. So that's like maybe 2 centimeters in the pan, I reckon.
Flour?
So these will go into there, and then we'll drop it into here.
Okay.
So this is panko breadcrumbs. We're putting it into a bowl that's pretty deep actually, because there's a trick to it where you don't have to get your hands as dirty.
I love that, because one thing I hate like cooking and getting my hands dirty. I'm more of like I need to clean like straight away.
We've got a plate that we'll put some of this on. Alright, so you're going to chuck these in the bowl, so do maybe one.
Fully covered?
Yep, just drop it in, and and then pull it out with your fork. Yeah. Drop it into there.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Don't stab it. Break it up.
Yeah.
And then do these ones.
Mind blown.
And voila.
And then
put it there, and then we keep going. We'll get a little production line going.
This is really good. I'm into this. I'm really into this. Okay.
That's it.
You're nailing this. I love this. Okay. I've learned so much stuff today. I'm stoked. I hope everyone else is learning about this too, because I think this is really good. Okay. Oops. So what do you think the hardest thing is about
cooking and talking?
No, that is really hard to do. No, what is the hardest thing about starting your own business?
Taking the first step.
Yeah.
Going from, hey, I've got a great idea, to quitting your job to actually doing it.
Yeah.
Because let's say, well, you're starting your own business, it's probably for the first time. And you're leaving a comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Of a salary and money that comes in. Hey, we might actually chop this one in half because it's a bit big.
Yeah, this other one is big too.
Right, so I'm cheating. Yeah, so the hardest thing is going from the idea stage to actually doing it. So, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people talk about things and just get a bit scared and don't really pull the pin.
Yeah.
And then, what's that quote? I always mash quotes. Is it the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step?
Single step, yeah.
Single step, so
yeah.
I mashed it.
Yeah.
Nearly got it.
The only reason why I remember it is because for some reason, when I was at school, I think that was like one of the like taglines like that they would always tell us at school.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe it was my school, maybe it was every girl's school said that, I don't know. But it was a thing, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you're not going to start anything without the first step. But then also if you are going to take the first step, and I learned this from experience, was you need to have a plan. Otherwise, if you don't have a plan, if you don't save enough money to save for, say, float your company for X amount of time, you're going to go and ask for your old job back, which means you're not doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
So when I quit my job, I hadn't told anyone, but I've been saving up for about a year, and because I knew, like, it was going to cost money. And,
yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't have to ask for my job back. Yeah, touch wood, but never say never.
I mean, you've got to be open to so many different scenarios, right? And I mean, Seabin has changed over the years and what it started from.
Yeah, we chucked that garbage bin in the water and we thought we're just going to clean up. Because I'm not an eco warrior, I've never been an activist or anything. I grew up on a hobby farm in Byron with hippie parents selling weed and stuff, but you know, sustainability wasn't a word, it was just something that you practiced without talking about it.
It was just kind of something that was already part of your life.
Just, yeah, it wasn't really fashionable and no one knew about it because there was no social media.
Yeah.
It was just a normal way of life that somehow has been either pushed aside or, I don't even know, like, became quite trendy, which is good.
But I feel like it only really became trendy like during COVID.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or, I don't know, I know with like Tom and I, when we first started Black Store, no one was talking about sustainable fashion and it was just really hard to, I've got these little guys here.
We might just put them aside.
You can't forget the little guys.
Well, there's always one sausage that falls off at the barbie, right?
Is there? I think that's like, I think the guy, the Barbie, or the person at the Barbie needs a lesson.
Picks it up, puts it back on the plate and doesn't tell anyone.
Oh my gosh, that's something. As a dad, what do you feel like? Do you feel like you've got responsibility to kind of like actually make sure that there's a planet for your kids?
Yeah, 100%.
It's so hard, isn't it?
Being a father brought out a lot of emotions that I didn't know about, and the responsibility thing comes out pretty hard when you've got one or two or more children that you provide for, and you give them the foundations of education and values and all this stuff, but also you see the environment around them and try to provide a safe space, right?
Yeah.
And so now with Seabin, we're helping repair the oceans, using the data to lobby governments and support action and legislation, but also to lobby the polluters as well. And yeah, it's huge. I don't want to take my kids to the beach swimming in plastic. I don't want to see any, health problems with my kids or anyone's kids or people. And but then there's also a responsibility of financial, sustainability. Like, you want to buy a house for your kids, you want to, provide for them, and it's huge.
It's hard.
Game changer with kids.
Yeah.
Best thing ever. Oh my god! Wow.
And your kids are wild, actual wildlings.
Yeah, wildlings is a pretty good way to explain it.
Little wildlings, like I can compare them to neons.
I don't know. I reckon he's a little groover, a little wildling. I reckon bring him up to Byron and we'll put him out in the bush with my boys and give them swords and axes, and they'll just go feral. They'll be like Lord of the Flies, but for 4-year-olds and 5. One of these, pop it in there. If it starts bubbling, it's starting to do its thing.
We're on!
And if it kicks off too much, it's too hot, which means it'll burn. So I don't know. We'll just see if this works.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got sriracha, sweet chili.
Yeah, and that's it. Actually, hang on. What have we got
Hoisin?
here? We'll chuck a bit of hoisin. Heaped teaspoon.
Oh man.
I would have done 2, and then chuck a little bit of that on. If it comes out. That all teriyaki, right?
Yes.
And we have this beautiful
It smells really good.
sauce.
It smells really hot.
Got a bit of spice.
Yeah, that looks like my face would actually fall off if I had that, but I'm gonna trust you.
Is XO mushroom sauce. I'm too scared to look at the ingredients.
A chef will be like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this.
So
I like when you just
I measured that.
mixing that.
The mushroom one. Do that in there.
That looks spicy. We're gonna turn into lovers.
Yeah. And everyone will be farting with Brussels sprouts.
Is that what they do?
Sorry. Oh yeah, that's bubbling away. This will be the Gucci sauce that goes down the bottom of the plate. Spread out a bit, I guess, is some coconut cream. And so just mix that.
Looking good.
Look at those colours.
Yeah, it looks really good. That smells so good.
Oh, it's amazing. Like, that is literally the way that I've... Oh, look at this. Look at those. We'll steam the veggies as well as... That's going to be so yummy.
These are amazing.
It's like vegan KFC with coating.
A good, like the whole thing. You're going to say the whole thing, right?
Oh, I wouldn't do it that. I feel like a T-Rex. Like, do one more, and then do one of these ones.
Oh wow!
Oh, we need a bit more.
So it does look a little bit like a pumpkin.
Right. So I'm not very good at plating up. We'll just sort of drop it in there, and then we'll chuck the broccolinis on top because they look cool. One of your new favourite Brussels sprouts. Yeah. Yes.